everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. We're doing one of the favorite formats of most of my viewers. I obviously can't do them all the time for obvious reasons, but I like doing the blind format. And what we have here today is probably one of the biggest categories in wine right now, and that's red blends. And the cool thing about these red blends is they're all under $15, maybe even under, I believe, under $14. So we have what we call value red blends, and we're going to review them blind. So I want to get started right away. God, I'm just getting some really good traction on this channel. I really appreciate it. I hope I'm bringing you value. That's the purpose of what I do. Okay, make sure I have my little bucket here. And I will try to remember to show you guys the number. Jordana, I'm sorry that I did not show the number of the blind, one of my blind events. But this is number one. Okay. Now these aren't identical blends. This will probably be part one. I want to do a part two. I have several blends to review. I just didn't want to do them all at once. I didn't want to make the episode too long. I know Tim and I went about 26 minutes. I thank you guys for hanging in there, watching the whole thing. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I thought it was a great interview, great discussion between Tim and I. Let's see what we get on the nose. This almost has reminds me of walking into a winery when they have all the fermenters filled with grapes, and you get that kind of fermenting grape smell. You know, a little bit of currants. Get a little cranberry action in the backside. Okay, let's see what we get on the palate. Now, the cool thing about blends in the U.S. is we can do whatever we want. Winemakers can do whatever they want. They're not stuck to certain rules, certain percentages they have to do. Remember that a varietal, for instance a Cab, a Merlot, Pinot Noir, they have to be 75% of that wine, that grape, to be called that grape. There's no rules when it comes to blends in the United States. It makes it kind of cool. I mean, these winemakers can do whatever they want, as long as it turns out good, right? That's what all we care about. Whereas in Europe, many times there's heavy restrictions on how much they can blend of certain grapes, or even what kind of grapes they can use in their blends. I think Portugal is pretty good about, even though you can't pronounce half the grape varietals they do a pretty good job of allowing their winemakers to do whatever they want with the varietal, with the blends. All right, let's get on the palate. Very soft, a touch thin. I get dark cherry and some black plum notes coming through. A little bright element that hits on the mid palate into the finish. The currants and plums kind of linger a little bit. It's a little thin, a little soft for me. Doesn't have a lot of action, doesn't have a lot of character, doesn't have a lot of personality. It just kind of lays there and lets you pick on it, so to speak. Maybe just a slight hit of black raspberry. I'm going to say boring, but with the asterisks that this is what many consumers look for, just something easy to drink. They don't want to think too hard about it. They want something that's inexpensive and just drinks well. Now, I will say, I've tasted a lot of red blends, and this one is just not doing it for me. It doesn't have a lot of personality. It's just kind of there and not doing anything else. This one doesn't even necessarily have the looks, because I haven't seen the label yet. All right. Not too thrilled about it, not terrible, but not very thrilled about that one. Okay, number one. Okay, let's look at number two. Number two. Go a little rinse here. Now I left out, these should be readily available. I I picked out several different blends, and I had my beautiful wife Susie bag them up for me. She picked the ones and put them in the order she thought would be good. And but they should be readily available. See what we get on those. Number 2. Sorry, I missed number 1 color. This is a little light. You know, you can almost see through it, but it's not super light. Not like a Pinot Noir light. Let's see what we get on the nose. Get right off the bat, a little bit of cedar dust and cinnamon, which I find quite interesting. Cedar dust and cinnamon. Maybe just a bit of blackberry and cherry. Let's see what we get on the palate. A little bit more going on in the first one. A little edgy on the backside. Good acidity. It kind of punches through on the back end. My first thought when I tasted this is red and black licorice. You know, those red vines, black licorice vines, kind of combined together. There's just a hint of red cherry with dark cherry and a little bit of currants all together on the palate. Like I said, the acidity kind of punches through at the end. Still not super excited about this wine. This isn't certainly not fantastic. You're not going to write home about it. Might not even scamper back to the store. Scamper. Am I dating myself by saying scamper? You might not run back to the store to get another bottle. But you might not be upset about the first one. That's what I'm saying. Little candy-esque, with blackberry coming through right up on the top of the mid palate. A little more going on than number 1, but not enough to really get me excited. That's what it is. More raspberry. You know, those hard raspberry candies than blackberry. Not super excited about that one either, but it is better than number 1. Not by far. But it has more going on, a little bit more personality. Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. Let's move on to number 3. Nothing so far is just jumping out at me. Number 3. Yeah, I thought that interview with Tim was really nice. I think he did a good job of expressing himself. Thought it flowed pretty good. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Shout out to the Dickerson boys for hiring Tim and nurturing him along. That was number 3. Okay, let's see what we get on the nose. Now, color, a little darker. A little darker. I don't know if you can tell. I should get some sort of white backdrop. A little darker than the first one. Can't see through it as easily. So let's see what we get on the nose. Little black tea with dark cherry and currant. Maybe even a little bit of a Coca-Cola coming through on the nose. A little bit more aromatic than 1 and 2. Let's see what we get on the palate. A little more grip, tannic grip. Not super excited about this one either. I mean, it again is kind of boring. Easy to drink, a lot of currant notes coming through, a little bit of black cherry, a little more tannic grip. Very, very soft. I know there's tannins in there. I'm not trying to contradict myself, although I think I just did there. Sorry about that, guys. Tannic grip on the back side, but the front side very soft. The tannins come through at the end. A little more full-bodied, a little more punch on the palate, but I'm not super excited about this one either. I think it's just kind of there. And once again, I think each one of these represents a spot for many consumers who just want to pick up a good, what they consider a good red blend, something they don't have to think about, something they can sip on while they're making their dinner or watching one of their programs or whatever they're doing. In this case, I'm out buffing my car after I do this episode. Black, dark cherry, currant, not much going on. Not excited about that one. Oop, it's a big old spill there. Good job, Stan. I missed the bucket. All right. Yeah, this is tough. Tough crowd right here. All right, let's move on. These episodes are really helpful for me as well, and my assistant Scott, because we get a chance to kind of taste some of these wines maybe we haven't visited in a while, and yeah, we can recommend them or not recommend them. It gives us good questions to ask. What do you want? Do you want something softer? Do you want something you don't have to think about? Number 4. There you go. Let's see. Color on this one, about the same as number 3. Almost exactly the same. You can see kind of through there, a little beam of light there. Of course, I got these big lights for the studio here. But yeah, you can see through it. I'd say it's more like 2. All right, let's see what we get on the nose. Well, this is interesting. A little bit more kind of a, almost a funkiness, which, you know, us wine guys, we kind of like a little bit of funk. I don't know why. I don't know why. How much, by the way, that'd be a good question. How many of you have kind of become accustomed to funk on the nose? Or what do you consider funky on the nose? Sometimes it's barnyard, sometimes it can be oatmeal cookie for me, sometimes it can be something so far out there, not in the normal range of what we smell in wine, that I call it funky. What do you consider funky? Make a comment. I'd be curious to know. Slight bit of funk, get a little dried cardboard, a little bit of leather coming through. Not a huge amount of fruit, maybe a little bit of currant. But definitely funky. This is hedging towards Old Barnyard. A little bit, not a lot. Just a little, just tiny, tiny bit. I get the leather though. I like the leather. Kind of somebody splashed a little currants on the leather. Let's see what we get on the palate. A little more interesting. I think this has a little more full-bodied action on the palate. I get currants. A tiny hit of cranberry underneath, like ripe cranberry. Little, you know, a fair amount of acidity, not a lot of acidity. None of these wines would lay down. They don't have any acid to them. So we don't have any cellarable wines. No surprise there. Little hit of black raspberry up on the mid palate. This is the most interesting of the 4, in my opinion. It has some more action, has a better structure. It's not as soft and easy and, you know, kind of boring. It has a little bit going on, a little bit of acidity. The tannins are light. There's not a lot of tannins to this, but they're there, enough to give it some structure, I would say. Yeah, I like the currants, black raspberry, a little bit of cherry coming through. Enough acidity to keep good structure there. Tannins are definitely softer, but they're sturdy enough. Yeah, I would have to say this is the best one I've tried of the 4. So you know which one's coming in first. So I have to kind of, I'm just going to go there. So none of these really got a great grade. But none of them got a terrible grade either. But let's line them up. Okay, there you go. There's the lineup in 4th last place with a C-. Remember, I didn't like this. I thought it had no personality. I thought it was kind of just bleh, doing nothing for me. I gave it a C-, straight up C-. Number one is the, oh, the original Dark Horse Big Red Blend. You guys probably know Dark Horse. It's $11. I think it might be non-vintage. I don't see a vintage on here. It does not give the blend on the back. Shame on you guys. Blend number 33. So they number the blend. Dark Horse. You guys know it. I mean, a lot of you have seen this blend. I do not recommend it. I don't think you're going to be like, I hate this wine, but yeah, it's not very good. I'm just boring. Nothing bad about it, though. I will say that. You know, it's not funky or bad. Okay, in third place, excuse me, with a straight up C, so average. Number 3 came in third place. Look at that. Number 3 came in third place. Whew. Number 1 came in last. Number 3 came in third. This is the, oh, there you go, the Bogle Essential Red 2013 Old Vine. Now, Bogle's a good producer. This is $13, so it's in the upper side of that, but still under 14, as I said. Yeah, C, it's average. Still not excited about it at all. Let's move on. In second place, number 2. In second place with a C+. So not a very great thing there. The Pirano Estates The Other Red. Now it's interesting that in the past when I've had this, I've got a lot of chocolate notes on it. Not this time. And hey guys, very appreciate that you put the blend on here. The 60% Cab, 30% Merlot, The Other Red. Oh, and 10% Syrah, 2017. $12. There you go. $12. Yeah, CC plus. Not great, but it had a little bit more going on than the other two. All right, in first place with a straight up C plus is number 4. Came in first place. Number 4. There you go, Jordana. Number 4 came in there. This is the Rare Red Blend, California. They're all California. Blend, California. Yep, all California. This was in it, not bad, $8. Rare Red Blend. Now, let's see if they give that. I'm impressed. I am absolutely impressed. The Rare Wine Company in Lodi, California. Paul Scotto is that Scotto? Yeah, is the 5th generation winemaker. Good job, guys. Rare Red Blend, $8. C, straight up C plus. So none of them, blew me out of the water, but I think for $8, that's a pretty good wine. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I really appreciate it. You keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Building the audience. I love it. Thank you very much. It does mean a lot to me. Really does. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.